balancing act of wanting to give the veterans now their time to get ready with just 2 preseason games, but I'm guessing that there are still some question marks in your mind and management's mind and the coaching staff's mind to get down to opening night.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about having opportunities and battling for jobs, and guys have taken that and tried to put their best foot forward and make it hard on us, and they have. So, for us, we keep, we're taking a look at different kind of setups. I've done it in games, I've done it in practice, just trying to get maybe put some people with a different partner, maybe on defense, or maybe it might be a different line, just to kind of get a feel for where it's going. But also at the same time, making sure that our big guys are all getting their touches and the amount of ice time that they need.
Is that kind of the method behind the different, slightly different line combinations out there in practice today?
Some of them you'll see tomorrow night. There is some looks I want to see tomorrow. Don't read in too much of it. We also, Sandberg and Pionk have already played a few times, and so they'll probably be out tomorrow. So it'll be kind of making sure that I get everybody in some games, enough games that we can really evaluate them.
Last season with the Cole Perfetti situation, I think it showed a little bit of there was like a top 6 or bust kind of philosophy for highly skilled players. I wonder, you had Iafallo with Lambert and Niederreiter. I wonder about the idea of maybe bending the philosophy of this team to try and get more high-skilled players outside of the top 6.
Yeah, there's different ways you go about it. Probably has sometimes how you match up against some other teams. There's lots of that where you have 3 lines of skill and you got a line that can go out and kill penalties and shut down the opposition and play a physical role. So yeah, you can go down that road. I'm not really tipping my hand where I'm going, but no, that is a possibility. And I have done it earlier in the camp. I think you guys missed it. So just let you know that you did catch it today, so that was good. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to put, so I got Lambert with Iafallo and Nino. I want to see him, all 3 of those guys, because I need them in that kind of role. I want to see what they look like, and I want to see how it goes, and maybe that's an option for tomorrow night.
Jaret Andersson-Dolan early in camp. I mean, what have you seen from him since? I mean, you mentioned that dog and a bone mentality.
Yeah.
And what can he do to solidify his standing in the next couple games here?
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent on how he goes and plays. I mean, his work ethic and practice and sort of details and some of those drills we did today, seeing that stuff and then taking it in the games. And liked a lot of what I saw. Again, he'll more than likely be in tomorrow with Lau, and kind of want to see that look on with him, playing with him. So he's a competitive kid that's kind of like he's hard on the puck. He goes and gets it when he doesn't have it. So playing to his identity of pretty much what I expected.
Where are you at with Elias Salomonsson? You don't want us to read into those pairings too much, I assume, but what would be the benefit of him starting the year here? And what would be the benefit if there was?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not making that decision until we get until we have to. Put him on the left side today because we don't have an abundance of left-handed defensemen. May get a chance to see him tomorrow on the left side, so that'll be another test for him. Liked a lot of how he's grown through this camp. I saw him last year, but this year there's a different player there, a more experienced player. I thought the very first game he looked nervous, looked like he was kind of feeling things out. I thought in the last game in Mini he was really good. There's a lot of real good things he's done, but I don't just evaluate those games. These drills that we're doing in practice, especially when we get head-to-head on 5-on-5 stuff, I really get a chance to feel about his body positioning, his stick detail, his physicality, how he reads plays, how he reads rushes, and he's been good. He's gotten better probably the quickest answer. Probably he's gotten better as the week has gone on.
How are those 2 early injuries impacted your thought about 22-man roster, or has it at
Well,
all?
that and waivers, we're going to have to kind of see. We'll have to play this out here. We'd like to get to that, whether that's game 1 or if that's game 10 or wherever you get to, because see where all our injured guys are moving down the road here. That's the only good thing that came out of that is that we've had a few, maybe 2 weeks into their injury period and we haven't started the year yet. So we get to gain some time there. But, we'll get to, I think it's this Sunday. We have to have our rosters in. So obviously waivers and all that will play into it.
What went through your mind when Ehlers went down there?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
I didn't even see it because I was talking to one of the guys about something that just, one of the plays earlier. So he seemed better. He just got a little bit spooked on it. Kind of hit skates with Scheif, and I think he just kind of tweaked himself a bit, but I think he's fine.
Scott, I'm assuming that when you came in, hello, you too. I assume when you came into this camp as head coach, you kind of visualized how you wanted to run it. I mean, how has that been rolling out, and what do you think the response from the players has been to you in this different position?
It's been good. I mean, good in the sense of how it's run so far, how it's been, I think it's been pretty smooth in the sense of kind of getting the message across, and the video work we had to do, kind of implementing some of the system stuff. There is, I know that kind of like today, last couple of days for our guys that, the big guys that will most likely be playing the last two, it's been kind of keeping them up and running and keeping their sort of their energy and their mojo kind of as high as possible going into next week. So feel good that way. For me, it's been a big, learning curve too, with having two more coaches that I'm kind of getting a feel for. Davis and Payne, how they work too. So Davis and Payne, Dean and Davis, kind of getting a feel for those guys. But it's been good. I mean, the guys have been real responsive and real receptive to kind of how we've been kind of going about things. And obviously it's every day's a work day, and it's just come to work and get our job done.
And have you been working on a style that you hope will get the team past that first round of the playoffs?
I'm not that far down the road. I'm worrying about Edmonton game one. We've talked an awful lot about compete and making sure that that when we get into games that our level of compete is higher than the opposition, and hopefully on those tough nights and tough travel, tough back-to-backs, whatever they might be, that's the difference in the hockey.
On that note of compete, Scott, we didn't miss everything today. I saw Cole give Josh a little slash, and then Josh came back at him later in the drill. Is that exactly what you want to see in terms of instilling that compete and intensity?
Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of happens from it type thing. I'm not big on fighting in practice or any of that stuff. My biggest thing is when you get one-on-one with somebody that, your will prevails over theirs, and kind of been preaching that from day one. And sometimes the temperatures go up a little bit like they did there. And but they're two guys walking down, hugging each other, going down the hallway afterwards. So,
What's your message to the guys in these last 2 games? Or what do you say?
I have no message for them. They know. I talked to them at the very beginning of camp, and other than us showing video, showing guys their shifts from games, assistant coaches going over stuff individually with all of the guys, and us showing team structure stuff that maybe showing. I'm not saying too much. These guys, they know what jobs they're fighting for. They know what they have to do to try to make our hockey team, and they don't need me coming to tell them anything more. Like I said, we are following up with video from guys that have played in games past and kind of showing them some things that maybe can improve on, just to help them for the next game. That's a lot of the younger guys, and as I take that as well. Also, some of our veteran guys, some things that just reminders for them to do.